Hi, I'm Dan Westfall. My company's Client Focused Financial. I'm going to talk today about it's not what you make, but it's what you keep. So, a lot of people have problems when it comes to budgeting and issues around it, and they say, well, I would just save more if I made more money. So, two problems with that is one, if you're not in the habit of saving money, you're not just going to all of a sudden start saving money just because you're making a little bit more money. The other issue with that is if you're just saving a little amount, even though right now you may feel like, well, $50, $100 a month isn't that much, it's not really going to make a dent in my savings. Over time, that money adds up, and your best friend when it comes to investing and making money long term is compounding interest and time. The more time you have, the more that compounding interest works in your favor. The median household income in the United States as of 2016 was a little under $60,000. So, if you're waiting to that point where you're like, well, I'm going to wait until I make, 80,000 or 90,000 where I really have a lot of extra money and then I'm going to start saving, odds are you're not going to do it because you haven't started the habit. And if you're not saving, $50, $100 a month when you're making $40,000, $50,000 a year, you're not going to all of a sudden just start saving $500 a month when you're making $100,000 a year. So a little bit of statistics here for you. So if you were saving $100 a month and you saved that $100 a month for 10 years and on that you made 8% over those 10 years on that money that you're saving, so that would be $12,000 over that 10 years that you actually invested. You would end up at year 10 with roughly about $17,000. So if you then change that time frame where you're still saving $100 a month at 8% rate of return, but you extend that time frame to 30 years, all of a sudden you've saved over that 30 years $36,000. But if you're making that same 8% rate of return over that 30-year time frame, your account will end up at around $136,000. That's $100,000 worth of growth that you've made on just $100 a month. And we can all think of some dumb stuff that we spend $100 a month on versus if you were to just save that per month. We all know those people that make a good amount of money out there, but they're constantly struggling with their personal finances to either save money or they just never have money and they're always claiming broke. So, and you're like thinking to yourself, you're like, how are you broke? You make so much more money than I do. And the problem is one thing, that it's not about, again, what you make, it's about what you keep. And the biggest issue around that would be the consistency of saving money. So if you're consistently doing the savings on a monthly basis where it's on autopilot and you're not even consciously thinking about it, you're going to just naturally build money up over time just by creating that habit. So if you're one of those people too that I was talking about that is struggling with saving money and you're making a good amount of money, first thing you should do is sit down and put together a budget. Figure out where all that money's going first, because trust me, you're going to look at it when you really see every single month, if you feel that you're making a good amount of money and you don't have anything to save, you're probably spending your money on some dumb stuff every month then. So, if it's something where you're looking at it, you're like, well, I'm spending $600+ for one car note every single month. I mean, look at maybe reducing your car payment by getting a cheaper car that's not going to be as expensive. So, I'm a financial advisor. I drive Rick Ross around because I don't pay anything for Rick Ross. That thing's got 320,000 miles on it, and it just keeps running. I just put new tires on a couple months ago. It's got another 40,000 in it, or at least it better. Look at where you're spending your money and figure out, well, could I reduce this spending here? Or, do I really need to be putting, all this money into Amazon every single month, buying all this random stuff? If the answer is no, then cut it down. If you're like, yeah, I do need that, then, don't change your lifestyle dramatically and shock the system, because you're going to eventually, go back to that if you feel like it's overwhelming at first. You're going to not save after a while if it's too overwhelming. I appreciate you taking the time to check out this video. If you'd like to take the investor assessment on my website, click the link above. It's right on the homepage there. That'll help you figure out where you stand as far as your investment life goes. Thanks again for checking out this video. I'm Dan Westfall, putting the service back in financial services.